Hey there, entrepreneurs. Are you feeling the squeeze from increasing regulations and higher taxes? Maybe you've noticed the growing instability and thought there has to be a better way. Well, you're not alone, and that's exactly why you need to consider offshoring your wealth now. Imagine a life where your hard-earned money isn't constantly under threat from unpredictable government policies. Sounds pretty good, right? Let me tell you. It's not just a dream, it's a smart strategy. Here at Exit Strategy, we specialize in helping entrepreneurs like you protect and grow their wealth. We navigate the complex world of international finance so you don't have to, from setting up offshore accounts to advising on the best countries with favorable tax laws. We've got you covered. Now, I know what you're thinking. Offshoring sounds risky, maybe even a bit shady, but the truth is many savvy business owners are already doing it. It's not just about dodging taxes, it's about creating a safety net for your future. Imagine diversifying your assets across multiple jurisdictions. When one country faces economic downturns, your wealth remains secure. Think of it as an insurance policy against the uncertainties of life. And let's not forget, having a portion of your wealth offshore can open up opportunities for international investments. You're no longer limited by the economic climate of a single country. You can tap into booming markets around the world, maximizing your returns. But here's the kicker. Time is of the essence. With increasing global scrutiny and tightening regulations, the window for easy offshoring is closing fast. The sooner you act, the better positioned you'll be. So why wait? Protect your wealth, secure your future, and explore new opportunities with Exit Strategy. Don't let the rising dangers in the US economy catch you off guard. Reach out to us today and take the first step towards financial freedom. Because when it comes to your wealth, playing it safe is the riskiest move of all. Thanks for watching, and remember, your future starts with the decisions you make today. Choose wisely, choose Exit Strategy. Catch you in the next video.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of In the Eyes of Truth. Today we have a very special guest, Gerald Celente. He's the publisher of Trends Journal. He's published several books on trends. What was Trends 2000?
Trends 2000, trend
2000.
tracking. Yep.
You may have seen him on Judge Nepanatalo. I'm butchering his last name. Sure, I'm my special superpower, butchering people's last names. Welcome to our show. If you'd like to tell the guests a little bit about yourself, so they can be acquainted with you.
Yeah, I've been at this for 45 years. I have best-selling books, Trends 2000, Trend Tracking, and the magazine, the Trends Journal, is a weekly magazine. And we're political atheists. We don't take sides on anything. So, for example, with the Israel war, we subscribe to Haaretz, the Israeli newspaper.
Hmm.
And of course, we go to Jerusalem Post, Ynet, Times of Israel, etc. But then we also go to IRNA, ISNA, Tehran Times, Press TV. Want to hear what the Iranians have to say? Oh, we go to the Arab news. We go to Al Jazeera, Middle East Monitor, Middle East Eye. Want to hear what the Arabs have to say? We go to the Europeans, Euro News, France 24, on, and what the Americans have to say. And then we give out, this is what they're saying. This is our analysis. This is where we see it going. So we don't take sides. It's not what you want, what you like. It's what is. And one of the sayings as a trend forecaster, and again, they don't teach trend forecasting in Harvard, Princeton, Yale. Again, I used to be on Oprah, the Today Show, Good Morning America, on and on and on. They don't know how to do it. And one of the sayings that we have is that opportunity misses those who view the world through the eyes of their profession. So we take the economic data. Yeah, they know everything going on in the economic world, but do they really know what's going on in the socioeconomic world? Do they really know what's going on geopolitically? No.
Yeah,
They're
absolutely.
narrow views. So that's what we do. And now, of course, as we're going on the air, the big news is on Black Friday, March 13th, May 13th, June 13th, excuse me. The other Black Friday, by the way, was March 13th, 2020.
Mm.
Donald Trump launched the COVID war in
Yeah.
America and locked down the place. Black Friday. Now, Black Friday, with the United States support, Israel bombs away over Iran. You go to my podcast, Gerald Celente, that went on last night, an hour and a half before this attack happened. We warned that this was going to happen and why gold prices were spiking. And now, as we're on the air today, gold prices went up over $50 an ounce.
Mm.
Gold now, right now, as we're speaking, is it's heading back toward the $3,400 an ounce range.
Well, gold's pretty suppressed on price anyways. So yeah, that's what do you see with oil? With what the I think we lost
Okay,
connection. Ah, here we go.
yeah, the oil is very simple. We've been writing about this week after week, month after month. We said if the United States and/or Israel attack Iran, you're going to see Brent crude hit well over $100 a barrel, and that will crash the global economy and the equity markets.
Yep.
So let's go back to May. I mean, this is only June. Well, what was oil back in May? Brent crude? Oh, about $60 a barrel.
Mm-hmm.
And now, as we're speaking, it only went up almost $15 a barrel. Now it's $75 a barrel for Brent crude. Again, you make connections between different fields. The economy is already going down all around the world. This
Yep.
is making a very bad situation much worse. So what we're going to see is what we call dragflation. No, little boys and girls, not stagflation, not stagnated, declining economies and rising inflation. And worse than all of that, we are on the verge of nuclear annihilation.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah.
And I'm just giving the facts, okay? As I just went on the air, Iran has now retaliated. He sent in over 100 ballistic missiles into Israel. The Houthis are sending missiles into Israel. And now again, we're political atheists. We only look at facts. Were there 91 million Iranians?
Mm-hmm.
How many Jewish people living in Israel?
7.5, 8 million, I think.
All right. So you don't have to be good at math to figure this out.
Yeah, right. Very true.
The Iranians are very advanced scientifically,
Mm-hmm.
technologically, and militarily. These are the Persians, very bright people.
Yep. But
Israel has what they call the Samson option, SAMSON. Anybody look it up. If Israel feels like they're losing, they're going nuclear. They have between 200 to 400 nuclear warheads.
yep, that's very true.
And they're going to lose. Ain't no way, no how they're going to beat the Iranians. And the United States is going to get involved in this war. You mentioned before, I do a podcast with Judge Napolitano every Wednesday. Go back when the United States talked about having a agreement with Iran. They were going to negotiate for the Iranian nuclear deal. I said to the judge, this is a lot of crap. Just like they spewed out the crap that they're going to have a ceasefire deal in Israel, as the United States keeps sending more weapons to keep the genocide going. I said, this is a lot of crap. I said, they're going to go to war against Iran. I said this when it began. They set the people up with their lies.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, you had Trump who flat out said that they knew about it. They're in the middle of a good faith negotiation. They know that Israel's about to strike, and we've killed a lot of people. We'll kill a lot more, or the Israelis will, if you don't do what we say.
Yeah.
You can't negotiate like that.
Again, number one, who the hell is the United States to tell Iran what to do?
Yeah,
Who's any country to tell another country what to do? Why don't you mind your own damn business? I launched
absolutely.
a movement called Occupy Peace well over a decade ago. I have Scott Ritter, Judge Napolitano, a whole bunch of uh, Ralph Nader. I read George Washington's farewell address. This is a real president that fought, not like the little fat boy Trump, not like the little draft dodger Trump, draft dodger Biden, draft dodger Clinton. I'm the same age as Trump. I grew up during the Vietnam War. Trump got 5 draft deferments. You know what the
Oof.
last one was?
No.
I got a bone spur on my ankle.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, my daddy paid off a doctor. Oh, by the way, I had lunch with Trump's brother Robert back in 2017 when Trump was president. Robert went on to tell me that when the daddy died, he left the family over $500 million worth of real estate.
That's not, that's a lot.
Trump is nothing more than a spoiled daddy's boy. So going back, George Washington tells the American people, don't get involved in any of these foreign
Yep.
entanglements. This crap has been going on for thousands of years, and we're not going to fix it. What right does America say what Iran should do? Oh, but it's okay for Israel to have nuclear weapons. Oh, they're the chosen people. I forgot. It says so in the good book, chapter 6, section 8. Save your crap, shove it. Oh, I'm just a little guinea from the Bronx. You're chosen? I don't want to hear your crap. By the way, Naomi Wolf, a Jewish woman, said this chosen people has nothing to do with religions. Chosen people of God who live in the spirit of God.
Yeah.
Just like I don't want to hear your fairy tale that, oh, God told Abraham 3,500 years ago that this land belongs to the Jewish people. Hey, what has God got lockjaw? Hasn't spoke to anybody since then? I got to believe your fairy tale?
Well, if you read the Christian Bible, you know the what Christ told, the parable that Christ told about the vineyard as he was heading into Jerusalem, and we know how that ends.
Yep.
So there's that. But you know what's something that that doesn't seem to get mentioned in the West or even understood. Iran for Russia is an existential crisis, a little less than Ukraine, but it's still an existential crisis. If Iran falls, that opens the gateway up into the Caucasus and into Central Asia.
Iran's not going to fall. They're not going to fall.
I don't
This
believe
war
they
is
will.
going to
Yeah.
continue to escalate,
Mm-hmm.
and the United States is going to escalate it. Here, this just came out when I went on the air. I didn't read the whole thing yet. U.S. officials, official pieces of crap, react to officials, little clowns. By the way, I was the assistant to the Secretary of the New York State Senate. I was on the other side. I know what it looks like. Gutless little boys and girls with bad attitudes. U.S. officials react to Israeli attack on Iran. Washington has said it was not involved with the strikes, but vowed to protect American and Israeli forces from potential retaliation. Where Israeli forces?
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing? What are we doing over there? We have 90,000 troops in the Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Several top U.S. officials have warned Tehran against targeting American forces following Israel's strike that killed country's top generals and nuclear scientists, and multiple explosions. They killed a couple of hundred people so far, the numbers I'm reading, and wounded hundreds more. Oh, you know what the Israelis call this? Operation Rising Lion. How about
Oh,
lion? You spell lion wrong. That's not
yeah.
Lion. It's Lying.
Yeah.
Operation Lying. You're nothing more than lying pieces of crap. House Service Committee Chairman Mike Rogers denounced Iran as, quote, the aggressor. The aggressor? What the hell are you talking about? Shut the hell up. Don't you know who I am? I'm a little slimeball politician. You listen to what I have to shove down your throat.
Absolutely.
Yep. He goes on to say, saying, quote, its pursuit of a nuclear weapon is an existential threat that will not be tolerated. They were not going into nuclear weapons. It's a total lie. And if they were, it's none of your business, slimeball.
You know,
The UK could have weapons. Pakistan, India, France, but no, anybody go there, but not Iran, not North Korea.
you know, Netanyahu's been saying that for 30 friggin' years. And by the way, he was a star witness on the hearings before the Iraq war, that Iraq was about to have nuclear weapons.
Yep.
How well did that go for the U.S.?
It went perfect. The people swallowed the crap and we went to war against Iraq.
And what did he get, the U.S.? Oh, besides $5 trillion in debt.
Yeah. And slaughtering about 1 million people and
Yeah.
destroying the place. Then we got U.S. House Speaker Mike Johnson, a little boy of nothing, with probably a pecker the size of this and a pair of cojones smaller than a mothball. That little fat mouthed boy, you ready? He said, this is the line, that little Catson Macron, another guy with no pecker over there in France, the Catson, saying Israel is right and has the right to defend itself. Hey, what do you mean defend itself? They weren't attacked.
Yeah.
You only attack the attacker. And by the way, I taught close combat for many years. My close combat teacher, John Perkins, his teacher was Bradley Steiner. You could look up Bradley Steiner, top close combat guy in America. Bradley Steiner, by the way, used to write articles for my magazine, The Trends Journal.
Huh.
And he passed away. Anyway, in close combat, in the fight, you only attack the attacker. You got it?
Yep.
Nobody attacked Israel. Oh, but they might have attacked us. Okay. So I could stab, shoot anybody I want because I think they're going to attack me?
Psychopaths. That's a psychopath.
You got it. And they're getting away with it by all this crap. Starmer, another little boy of nothing, a little ballless little nothing of a clown over there in the UK. Oh, and the Maersk, Heil Maersk, or the new guy over there in Germany. Yeah. Throwing out the same bullshit line, Israel has the right to defend itself. They weren't attacked.
No. No, they weren't. Absolutely, they weren't. I mean, in fact, Iran has done everything possible not to start a war with Israel.
Yep.
After attack, they even when they responded at a much lower level than what the Israelis have done.
Yep.
So
It's very serious. Very, 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 very serious.
you know, what's interesting is the form of attack that they took is absolutely the exact same fingerprints as the attack on the Russian strategic nuclear bombers. Exact same exact same setup. And there's been a lot of people saying for quite a long time, Assad is all over Ukraine from day one. And we see exact same setup.
Yep. And look what again, what's his name? Mertz. You look at the cover of the Trends Journal. Like World War I, like World War II, Germany ramping up World War III. Heil Maersk.
Yeah.
Germany's the third largest economy in the world. In the world. The largest in Europe. They're in a recession for 2 years. One of my sayings is when all else fails, they take you to war.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Okay. They're borrowing $1 trillion to build up their defense because we have to stop those Russians. Hey, wait a minute. Got some. How many Russians did you kill in Operation Barbarossa in World War II? Over 25 million? And you're telling me this crap that Russia's going to invade Europe? Yeah. Heil Maersk. And France, UK, Nordic countries, all building up their military. This is very important. as the attention goes on to what's going on in Iran, Ukraine and NATO and the United States are going to ramp up the war against Russia. While everybody's looking that way, they're going to do it in this way. So look out, it's going to ramp up. Go back to our magazine, the Trends Journal. The Ukraine war began on February 24th, 2022. The magazine came out 2 days earlier on the 22nd. From COVID war to Ukraine war to World War. World War III has already begun. This is just another element of it.
Yeah, I agree.
And now the false flag event's going to happen when the United States gets totally involved in this, and they go, oh my God, look what they did to America, blah, 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 and it's going to escalate. And we said, let's get this straight. If the Germans couldn't beat the Russians in World War II, and Russia was the first one to defeat them, how could anybody with a brain bigger than a pea think Ukraine's going to beat them? Again, it's not what you like, what you want, it's what it is. And again, John F. Kennedy's speech to graduating students, American University, June 1963. He said, we should not hate the Russian people. He said they suffered more than any other nation in World War II. He said over 20 million were killed. And he said they lost their farms, their factories, their homes, the equivalent of Chicago to the East Coast. And if we go to war against them, life on Earth will be destroyed in 24 hours. This is 1963.
Right.
So this is very serious times. And was the Pope got locked? Sure. How come he's not coming out against these wars? What Pope? How about Pope of Dope?
Yeah.
Again, I was raised a Catholic. A nun beat me up in the 5th grade, broke my eardrum, perforated my middle ear, and fucked me up for a long time. But I'm just thankful Father Foley was a ladies' man. It could have been a lot worse, you know? It has nothing to do with the Christ that you clowns say you believe in. Where are all the religions? Where the Quakers died in an earthquake? Was Seventh-day Adventists waiting for the 8th day? They're all a bunch of frauds. Where are the billionaires? Not a penny for peace. Not one penny.
Yeah.
One of my tenants, I own 3 of the most historic buildings in America, on the most historic 4 corners in America.
Oh, which ones?
Kingston, New York.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only place with pre-Revolutionary War stone buildings on each corner. This was the first capital.
Oh, wow.
You can look it up.
Mm-hmm.
Kingston, New York, most historic 4 corners. The British burnt it down after the Battle of Saratoga.
Right.
One of my tenants was Warren Buffett's little boy, Pete Buffett. Never gave me a penny for peace. My rallies. He went to one of them when NATO was here.
Mm-hmm.
NATO knew him. Not a penny. Hey, Musk. Hey, well, you got a couple of $100 billion. How about $1 billion for peace? Screw you. Get the hell out of here. Oh, I'm going to be like Buffett's former partner. There was that kid, Charlie Munger. Remember Charlie Munger? Oh, yeah, hey, Munger. What did you do all that dough? I built a big casket, took all that money with me, right?
It's sad. You know, right now, speaking of religion, the Ukrainians, not only are they persecuting the Orthodox Church in Ukraine, they're actively hitting churches in with drones in Belgorod Oblast, in Kursk Oblast, in the 4 Eastern Oblasts. I mean, they're aiming. They're not even aiming. They're aiming for civilians because, for whatever reason, they're not aiming at the military. But now they're just aiming specifically at churches as a first on their list of what to hit, and historical churches where they can get at it.
Well,
it's insane.
What religion is it?
Orthodox, Eastern Orthodox. Well,
No.
Russian Orthodox. It's just part of it.
No. Zelensky's Jewish.
Oh, Zelensky. Zelensky. Well, he's Jewish by origin. I don't know if he has any religion. His parents live in Israel. in a huge mansion that he bought him.
Yeah.
His wife and kids, his wife is Ukrainian and his wife and kids are in London. So they're
Yeah.
not going to stick around in the middle of a war.
Yeah, and what did Zelensky do before? He was a comedian that played the piano with his penis.
Oh yeah, he was also in high heels yeah, in a skit in the middle of New York City, dressed up in drag.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah.
Yeah, these are satanic people running the
Oh,
world.
absolutely.
Yep.
You,
So
you know,
anyway, next Tuesday, we're going to be doing a roundtable here in Kingston with Scott Ritter, uh, Garland Nixon, Dennis Kucinich,
oh,
and Joe Loria.
hmm.
And then the next day, we're going to be broadcasting live to St. Petersburg. And we're going to have a group of people here, about 50 people here, 50 people up out in St. Petersburg, and discussing what in the world is going on and how the average person, the regular person, not average, but sees how what's going on. So you go to my channel, Gerald Celente, Celente, or Trends Journal channel, and we'll be doing it on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time and around noon on Wednesday, the 18th, on those channels.
About
So thank you
7
very
p.m.
much.
In Moscow. One thing, Gerald. I'm former U.S. military. I before I moved back to Russia after I got out and went into oil and gas business. But in 1999, because I'm originally from Lugansk, that's been under fire for 12 years. Well, in 1999, I became a staff officer in the 18th Airborne Corps staff as a captain in G3, which is the operations side. And when you're at brigade level and then I was at company level, platoon level, you don't see a big picture. You just see what your training
Yeah.
schedule or your deployment schedule, out a year, maybe half a year. You get up to the core, 4 divisions, almost 5 divisions, really, with all the extra units. You see the big picture. And except for the portion where we were planning the march on Baghdad, and the plans are already made. You just pull them off the shelf and you refine them down to the local reality. But everything else was war against Russia. This is 1999. It was war against Russia. Different scenarios, different areas of operation, but it was all against the Russian army. As politicians are grabbing each other and looking at each other's eyes and seeing their souls, but all we did was get ready for war with Russia, which is why I cut my career short in the end. Said no thanks to the major's rank and left.
Let's
Uh,
say if they were rid of. Yeah, he was a
yeah,
top guy. Here, this is your Trends Journal magazine. So how happy this guy is?
yeah.
2014, the United States overthrow of the democratically elected government of Viktor Yanukovych in 2014. All
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
All the facts are here. So
Is
thank you
there?
very much for
Mhm.
having me on.
Thank you. Thank you for
If
joining.
anybody, the magazine, by the way, is only $2.59 a week,
Oh,
over
that's
200
cheap.
pages a week.
Yeah.
We're giving people what they're not getting anywhere else in the world. And if you don't believe me, look at the comments on YouTube. And I'm telling you, again, one of our top trends for 2024 was a golden year for gold. Gold prices went up 30% last year.
Yeah.
And so we're giving people the best we can to help them prepare, prevail, and prosper in these dangerous times ahead. I have GCs, 3Gs, guns, gold, and a getaway plan.
The getaway plan is probably the most important one.
Oof. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I hope to see you again on the show.
All right, man.
Thank you. Cheers.